All right, so we're going to do some Google autofill, and I just want you to know I have not seen these beforehand. So this is a genuine reaction to every single one of these. It might be an outrageous reaction, but it's genuine. Hey Google, are molecular biologists in demand? Yes, molecular biologists are in demand. Okay, so biotech is a huge thing, especially on the coasts, Boston, San Francisco Bay Area, San Diego, even up in Salt Lake and here in Utah, there's a big biotech scene, and Provo is getting a little bit of biotech scene. Molecular biology is what allows you to do biotech. Molecular biologists are studying the process of transcription. Yes, we do study the process of transcription. Transcription, just as a reminder, because I know you know this already, is the process of taking the information in the DNA and now making it into RNA. So that's transcribing the DNA to RNA. And then that RNA goes out of the nucleus and gets translated from nucleic acid, like RNA and DNA language, into protein. And that's usually the final product. Google is molecular biology in demand. Again, another derivation of it. Yes, I appreciate it. This is kind of like the DNA, the RNA, and the protein questions of them. We are transcribing a different way and now translating. But yes, molecular biologists are in demand. In fact, I think this is a bunch of people that think molecular biology is totally fascinating, deciding if they want it to be their major, and so they're Googling it. They're doing their due diligence. What is the average salary of a molecular biologist? So it totally depends on what you're doing with your molecular biology. When I first graduated, I worked as a technician up at the University of Utah, and I made, and this was a super long time ago, this was 26 years ago, 25 years ago, I started at $6.91 an hour, okay? Not very good. I was awesome, so my boss gave me the biggest raise he could each time. Nowadays, yeah, you know, you make an okay wage, but at just working as a technician, you're not going to make big money, okay? And you'll be, yeah. No, don't work as a technician. Go on and find something else to do. But molecular biologists, right, if you're working for a startup company and doing that, you can get paid a lot better. And if you're a founder of a startup company, you might not get paid at all until you merge it with some other company and then make a huge amount of money. But yeah, are they well paid? It really depends on what you're doing. Google, what is molecular biology in evolution? Looking at evolution, molecular biology is huge because what you do is you take different organisms, and nowadays we sequence their whole genomes and we see, okay, of these closely related species, how has it changed? What is molecular biology all about? Molecular biology is all about the central dogma, DNA to RNA to protein. DNA is transcribed to RNA, and then it's translated into protein. What is molecular biology major? That's poor grammar, but we'll still answer it. The molecular biology major is the best major at BYU and pretty much anywhere. And it's if you really want to study the fundamentals of how genetic information is used in your cells and how it's duplicated and it makes everything. It's really the fundamental of how do you go from a single cell that has identical copies of the genome in it to all the different cell types that you're made out of. What is molecular biology simple definition? Molecular biology is way cool. That's the simple definition. What is molecular biology grade water? Okay, yeah, we're not talking ABCs or E's at BYU. Molecular biology grade water is water that's gone through a reverse osmosis filter, and then even after that is often autoclaved after that to make sure everything is totally sterile. And you can make it yourself. We'll call it double distilled water, or you can buy it from companies that say it's totally, but basically, yeah, getting every single thing and even the ions, even the sodium and the chloride and everything out of it, so it's not contaminating what you're doing in your experiment. What is molecular biology used for? What isn't it used for? You know, it's used for genetic engineering, it's used for basic research, it's used for medical research. It's just a great thing. It can be used it's basically used by all life science now. You use molecular biology techniques and theories to guide what you're studying. What is molecular biology and how does it support evolution? First of all, anyone who thinks evolution doesn't happen doesn't understand what evolution is, okay? And secondly, evolution doesn't have anything to do with God or disprove God. It's only people who don't understand evolution that think it does. So having said those two things, how does molecular biology support evolution? Molecular biology is the set of tools and ideas that helps you go and look at how the DNA will change from an organism to its descendants. We see this in real time in bacteria. We can see bacteria evolve, and when we actually say, okay, we're going to take this bacteria that normally doesn't like high salt, and now we're going to put it in a high salt solution, and it's not going to be able to grow unless it mutates and evolves. And that just happens, okay? So molecular biology shows that evolution happens on the micro scale, and then it's actually applied up to a larger scale. And finally, what is molecular biology about? Molecular biology is about the coolest thing you can study. All right, so that wraps up our Ask Google Autofill about molecular biology and molecular biologists. I hope you learned something. I know that I didn't, because they were all my opinions. But we'll see you next time. Hope you had some fun. Queenswave.